name's Liz, I'm the baker that sews. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you are a subscriber. As always, it's really lovely to have you here as I share my sewing journey. So welcome back to my channel. Today's video is one of my Sunday sewing catch-ups, and I've got lots of things that I want to share with you. Not as much sewing going on this week. It has been a really full-on busy week of teaching. It was the first sort of proper full week of the children being in and just teaching all the usual lessons. So I have been completely exhausted. So I've only been doing a teeny bit of sewing in the evenings and a little bit of sewing prep. So I'll go on to talk about that a little bit later. Before I share everything with you, I'll let you know what I'm wearing, and it has been quite a warm sunny day in London today. So I put on my chalk and notch Marcel dress in this gorgeous, I think it was a linen, or maybe it was a viscose linen. It creases like mad. I've had it on all day. But yeah, it's the Marcel dress, and I've gone for like the maxi length. It's got these gorgeous like gathered ruffle panels down the sides. I love how swishy it is. And then it's got this really gorgeous, I think like it's the top part of the dress. I can't remember if they call it like a facing or anything like that, but it's really lovely detail that goes across the front. And then it's the same on the back, and then you've got these fairly wide straps, and generally it covers my bra. You just got a little peep on the back. I will put pictures in of me wearing this because I've been out today and I did get a photo of me wearing this dress. And then I also, just for an extra pop of colour, put in some of these beautiful earrings that I got from Sapphire Frills, which are like rainbows. They're all different shades of pink, and they've got a little heart in the middle as well. So that is what I'm wearing. So what have I been sewing this week? So last week I shared with you the Rosamond blouse, and it was kind of just starting to come together. I think I just pieced the back with the front pieces, but I hadn't done anything else to it. So I still had quite a lot to do to the blouse. It's the Madswick Patterns Rosamond blouse. I'll put an image in now of what it looks like. These are the line drawings. Hopefully you can see that. So as I said, it's called the Rosamond blouse, and it's by Madswick Patterns. I've not sewn any of their patterns before, but this came in their seasonal sewing kind of project from Hey Sew Sister, so the autumn one, and the theme was back to school. So we got this gorgeous gingham, blue and white gingham seersucker fabric, and then a really beautiful contrast kind of burgundy red cotton to do a contrast tie. As you can see on the Rosamond blouse, you've got that tie detail. Now there's the option to do the plain Rosamond blouse, or you can do the blouse that's got the collar, and I've gone for the collar detail. And then there was also the option to do this gorgeous like embroidery on it, like a scallop shape. Now in the pack, Georgie suggests, and also in the instructions, they suggest that you do the scallop and then you trim away the fabric. I decided not to trim away the fabric. I had a little go at doing it myself, and I actually preferred just leaving the trim on the fabric and not trimming it away. So I'll hold it up. I don't actually have photos of me wearing this yet, but I have got a flat lay photo of the blouse. Absolutely beautiful. It's completely different to anything I would ever sew before, and I really enjoyed the process of it. So it's got that gorgeous collar on the front detail, and then I've got that beautiful scallop detail going all the way round the collar, and then the collar goes all the way round to the back. So you can see that that scallop detail has continued all the way around the back, and then you've got that contrast. You don't have to do it in a contrast, but I do really love that pop of burgundy against the blue and white seersucker fabric. But that's a little tie. And then we've got some really cute floral buttons included. And then with the Rosamond blouse, if I can undo it, I don't think I can undo it actually without, it's going to be quite fiddly to do, but they're little loops. So they're little like rouleau loops for the buttonholes. So you don't do buttonholes, you sew on the loops instead. And then the neckline is all fully binded, so you have no raw edges at all. It's a really beautiful finish. Oh, and then the cuffs. The cuffs are really beautiful too. So the cuffs have got that gorgeous scallop detail, which really reflects and mirrors the collar detail as well. It was a really fun blouse to sew up, and although it took a long time to put it together, I actually really enjoyed taking my time. I really enjoyed sewing on the embroidery. I really enjoyed taking my time sort of pressing the collar and stitching that embroidery all the way around. Really enjoyed just going a little bit slower with a project. and also just the challenge of sewing a project or following a pattern that you haven't sewn before, and also using a pattern company that I haven't sewn with before. So I really enjoyed it. I just need to figure out how to style this type of blouse because it's not really something that I would normally wear, but I'm really excited about wearing it. So I just need to have a play around with some of the trousers, skirts and culottes and things that I've got in my wardrobe to see what would go with this beautiful blouse. But I can see myself having a go at sewing another one of these up. It was a really, really enjoyable sew. And then last week I shared the Narissa quilted jacket that I'd sewn up, and I just needed to put poppers on. So this has been a really slow sew. I've just been doing this on the sofa in the evenings when I've been too tired to sort of sit at my sewing machine, but I wanted to do a little bit of sewing. So I've managed to get most of the poppers on one side, so they're the sort of flat poppers. They're a little bit easier to sew on. The other side, they're slightly raised, the poppers, so it was harder to get through the holes on the poppers and attach it obviously to the fabric. So you can see that I haven't sewn any more on that side, but I haven't watched the first show from Strictly because Strictly started yesterday. I haven't watched that yet, so I'm going to watch that this evening with my family, and then I think I'm going to stitch the rest of the poppers on that side because the poppers on that side are done, and then that will be completely finished. So that is almost finished. It's just an ongoing project because I'm sewing on those poppers and I'm hand sewing them, so it does take slightly longer. And then the other thing that I've started sewing up but I haven't finished is a Deer and Doe Myosotis dress. So I've been going through my stash and I'm trying to shop my stash at the moment. And I rediscovered this beautiful fabric that I got from Sew Me Sunshine. It's absolutely stunning. This sort of powder blue background, green grid effect, and then all these beautiful orange flowers all over it. So it's almost completely finished. I've sewn so many versions of the Deer and Doe Myosotis dress, so I don't actually need to follow the instructions when I'm sewing it up, and because of that I don't sew it in the order that they suggest in the instructions. I tend to do the bodice, I put the sleeves in, then I do the skirt, then I put the collar on. The collar tends to be the last thing that I sew onto the Myosotis. So I've got a raw neckline there at the moment because I need to put the collar on. I've sewn the collar, I just need to press it and then stitch it on. And then I've only got 2 buttons down the front at the moment, so I need to stitch the buttons. The buttonholes are in, but I haven't sewn the buttons. And then what I decided to do with this version was I didn't want a straight sleeve, so I've used the sleeve pattern piece from the Fabric Godmother Fleur, because I absolutely love that sleeve pattern piece where it finishes with that beautiful cuff, and you've got that gorgeous puff detail as well. So the dress is almost finished, just a few little details. I need to hand sew the buttons on because I've got 2 buttons on, and then I've hemmed it completely. The sleeves are in, I just need to put the mandarin collar on as well. And what I tend to do with my Deer and Doe Myosotis dress is that I extend the bodice. So I have extended the bodice on this one, and because of that it means that the bodice is slightly longer, so I have added an extra buttonhole. So I've got 4 buttonholes instead of recommended 3 buttonholes. So I'm really looking forward to getting that dress finished. I think it's going to be a really gorgeous autumnal dress, and I can pop on a cardigan, put some tights on if I need to as well. And I just absolutely loved that fabric when I first bought it. So I'm really pleased that I'm actually turning it into something that I know I'm going to get lots and lots of wear out of. Because I absolutely love wearing dresses. I think they're my favourite garment to wear. And I've been really enjoying going through my wardrobe and finding some of the older makes as well. And what I've been doing on Instagram is I've been sharing my me-made outfits for the week. So what I would wear typically for a week at school. So I've done that for the last 2 weeks and I'm planning to continue doing that. It's quite interesting for me to look back on what my outfits are and my favourite things to wear when I'm teaching, and what I feel comfortable in. And also as the weather changes, it's a really good record of what's in my wardrobe as well. So those are all the things that I have been sewing. I've also been doing some sewing prep. So I gave my sewing machine a really good clean. I also spent some time cutting out a couple of projects. So I've got a couple of things ready to go in the next couple of weeks, which I'm looking forward to getting sewn up as well. So the next thing I wanted to share with you was some fabric, and I've got my Sew Hayley Jane box to share with you as well. So I'll start with the piece of fabric that has a... Hey Sew Sister shared this in her stories and I could not resist because the fabric has got cake all over it, and if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I am also a baker as well as a teacher, and I also love sewing. I attend a monthly market with my husband, and we enjoy selling cakes at the market. So as soon as this fabric was shared, I couldn't resist getting some. It's a fabric that Georgie's designed herself. I think it's super cute. It's on a pale pink background, which is a colour that I don't normally go for, but I really loved the design of the fabric. It's got these cakes all over it, little bows, there's strawberries, there's little hearts as well. I think that's a cup of coffee with a heart on as well, and I just thought it was really cute. I got 3 meters of it. I think it's a cotton lawn. I should have checked actually, but I think it's a cotton lawn. It feels like a cotton lawn. Really, really lovely. I'll probably turn it into some kind of dress. Haven't decided what dress I'm going to go for yet. I'm not in a hurry to sew this up because I feel like this is more like a spring summer fabric, so it may just go and sit in my stash for a while until I figure out what dress pattern I'm going to turn it into. I just thought it was a really, really pretty and really fun fabric, and I couldn't resist it because of those cakes as well. Super cute. So the next thing I've got to share with you is the Sew Hayley Jane box. So I subscribe to the classic box, which is £40 a month. I've subscribed for many, many years, and I love getting the box. I feel that it always pushes me out of my comfort zone. And if ever there's a fabric that I'm not 100% sure about, usually Ruby or Lola will bagsy the fabric and decide that they want something with it. So Hayley changed the boxes a couple of months ago. We used to get fat quarters, but now we get a supplementary fabric, and the supplementary fabric is this beautiful I think it's a chiffon fabric. I should have checked the magazine. Let me see what it is. If I flick to the back, it will tell me what it is. So yeah, we got, oh no, it's a Georgette fabric. So we get 1 meter of this beautiful Georgette fabric, and I think this will probably end up being turned into the lining for a bag. I've got a couple of bags that I want to get sewn up, so that will probably become the lining of a bag. We also got some beautiful buttons, and these are by Becky's Sewing Studio, some lovely pink heart-shaped buttons. They're going to go in my button stash. And then the main fabric was 2.5 meters of a viscose jersey, so 95% viscose and 5% elastane. Now this is one of those fabrics where when I opened the box, Lola decided she wanted the fabric, so I'm going to turn it into something for her. So I got the pink colourway. I think there's also a purple colourway. Because it's a viscose jersey, it's got a huge amount of drape and just movement. It's got a really lovely amount of bounce to the fabric as well. Now, because I've got 2.5 meters, I think I'll be able to get a couple of things out of this fabric for Lola. So I'm going to turn it into some pyjamas for her, and I'll probably use the Tilly and the Buttons Juno pyjama pattern. And then I might, if I've got enough fabric, turn it into a t-shirt or a jumper for her as well. Or I might be able to turn it into a dress. I'm not sure if I'll have enough fabric. It feels really wide actually, this fabric. But yeah, she bagsied this fabric. Sometimes that's the danger of opening it in front of Ruby and Lola. Sometimes they see the fabric and they decide that they want it. So it's going to be turned into something for Lola, definitely, because she 100% fell in love with that fabric. And I've got a lot of clothes. So I'm really enjoying sewing things for them at the moment as well. I'll link all the details down below if you're interested in subscribing to a Sew Hayley Jane box, because you can get 10% off your first box using the code Liz10. So I'll link that all down below. And Hayley always has an outlet shop where if she's got any fabrics left over, she'll put them on the outlet shop as well. So you can always buy the fabrics generally if you don't subscribe to the boxes. Sometimes there's a little bit left over that you can get from the shop. The next thing I wanted to share was a new pattern that Friday Pattern Company have just released, and it's a pay what you can afford pattern. So it could be free, or you could pay £2, £5, £10, whatever you would like to pay for the pattern. And they've got quite a few patterns on their website that are like this. And the pattern that they've released is called the Friday Garment Bag pattern. And I thought this was a really interesting pattern. So the idea behind it is it's a bag for your garments, but there's also little pockets that you sew on there as well, where you could keep like your jewellery, or you could put your shoes in one of the pockets as well. And it's a really clever design because you have got the whole length of the bag to put your garment in, but then you fold it up and then you've got these clever little handles so you can carry it. So say you're travelling somewhere on the train or even in the car, and you can hook it in your car at the back. I thought it was a really lovely idea for a pattern. And actually when I was much younger, so I think I started dancing when I was about 2 properly. As my mum always says that as soon as I learnt to walk, I started dancing. I grew up in Manchester, so up north, and when I was growing up, there was a type of dance that still continues now called troop dancing, and I did it for years until I was 18 and went to university, and then I stopped. And we used to have to wear like troop dance dresses, and I just have memories of having one of these type of bags where it was pretty much exactly the same shape, where it'd have a big zip. You'd put your dress in, zip it up, and then we'd have to carry it off to the bus. And we'd have like a troop dancing bus that we'd all get on, and then we'd drive off to carnivals, and then we'd all get changed into our dresses and things. So when I saw this, it brought back lots of fond memories of my childhood and going off to carnivals and dancing with my troop. Lots and lots of fun. But yeah, we used to have to take these type of like garment bags with us with our dresses in, and we'd have a little bonnet, we'd have a little plimp soles and knee socks and things as well. It was lots and lots of fun. I was really sad when I had to stop actually when I went to university, and then I moved to London, so I couldn't participate anymore. They describe it as the perfect travel companion. It zips up, folds in half with handles. It's got zippered pockets where you can store jewellery and shoes. And in terms of fabrics, they recommend mid to heavyweight woven. And it looks like they've sewn the example in like a denim fabric. And like I said, it's a free pattern or pay what you can as well. So I'll link it down below if you're interested. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was a really lovely sewing podcast, and I'm sure you've listened to it. It's run by two wonderful people from the sewing community, and I have really enjoyed listening to season 1, and then I've saved up season 2, and I listened to all of season 2 episodes yesterday whilst I was cleaning the house, doing a little bit of sewing prep, doing a little bit of sewing as well. I kind of kept listening to it throughout the day, and it was really enjoyable having a huge chunk of sewing podcast to listen. So the podcast is called Sew What's New in the Biscuit Tin, and it's run by Jess from Sew What If I Sew and Sam, who is Sequin Girly. I'm sure you follow both of them already. I'll link the podcast down below. You can also follow them on Ko-fi, and if you follow them on Ko-fi, you can become a member, which is what I have decided to do because I absolutely love listening to both of them. It's just like listening to two sewing friends in the background chatting about lots of things to do with sewing, but they really discuss they at the end of the podcast there's always a dilemma, so you can send in your dilemma, but I feel like they really talk about the love and the joy of sewing and just enjoying it as a hobby. I find it really enjoyable to listen to, and actually I was very surprised to hear them mention me in the last I think it was episode 4, where they were talking about different types of biscuits, and then they asked if the baker that sews, which is me, bakes biscuits for our market. And my answer to that question is I don't bake biscuits for the market. I focus more on cakes, so I do brownies, loaf cakes, tort cakes, Bakewell tart, which is my absolute favourite. I do scones, but I do biscuit themed cupcakes. So I've done a custard cream cupcake, which is like a custard flavoured sponge with a little bit of custard in the middle, like custard flavoured buttercream, and then buttercream on top and topped with a little custard cream. We also do party ring cupcakes, which is a plain vanilla sponge with vanilla buttercream and then topped with the cutest little party ring biscuit on top. I also do Oreo biscuit cupcakes, so they've got an Oreo biscuit at the bottom, chocolate sponge, Nutella in the middle, and then buttercream and an Oreo. You can get like mini Oreo biscuits, so I pop a mini Oreo biscuit on top. And then, what have I not said? Jammy Dodger as well. So the Jammy Dodger ones, I've got Jammy Dodger biscuits in the bottom, vanilla sponge, jam in the middle, buttercream, and then a mini Jammy Dodger on top, because you can get loads of really cute mini biscuits. And I've also done a Maryland cookie themed cupcake. So that's a vanilla sponge, chocolate chips mixed through the mixture. And then piping, I put vanilla buttercream on top, sprinkle with a little bit of chocolate, and then top with a Maryland cookie. Always a mini one on the top, because I find that the big biscuits go too soft, and they quite often look too big to go on top of the cupcake. And I've just remembered another biscuit themed cupcake that I do, which is the Biscoff cupcake, which is probably my favourite cupcake because I absolutely love Biscoff biscuits. So it's a Biscoff flavoured sponge, Biscoff in the middle, vanilla buttercream, and a Biscoff biscuit on top. as I've been talking, I will have put pictures in of what these look like so you can see. So the answer to the question, Sam and Jess, is I don't bake biscuits, but I do lots of biscuit themed cupcakes. So do go and have a listen to that podcast if you don't already. I'll link all the information down below. It's such an enjoyable podcast to listen to. So Jess and Sam, thank you so much for all your hard work with that, because I absolutely love saving up the episodes and just spending the whole afternoon listening to you both talk about sewing. The next thing I wanted to talk about was a sewing challenge which is coming up. So this sewing challenge has been going on for a number of years now, and it's the Sew Upcycle challenge. I have taken part in the last couple of years. I think I always set really ambitious plans for myself and I never get any of them finished, or I get one thing finished for the Sew Upcycle challenge. So this year I'm going to give myself one plan for the Sew Upcycle challenge. So the Sew Upcycle challenge is hosted by Becky, who is Notes from the Sewing Room, and Karen, who is So Little Time. And this year's hashtag is hashtag Sew Upcycle 24. It's running from the 1st of October to the 31st of October, so we've got loads of time to think about it. There's going to be loads of vloggers that are sharing videos throughout the month of October with lots and lots of inspiration, and I'm going to be filming a video too where I'll talk in more detail about what I'm planning to do. There is a hashtag if you want to share your whip throughout the month of October, and they ask that you save your reveal until the 31st of October. So the hashtag for the whip is hashtag Sew Upcycle 24 whip, WIP. So the reveal date is the 31st of October. We're being asked to make an upcycled garment or bag, use something other than new fabric. So we're not to buy any new fabric for this challenge. Shop your stash, see if you've got any blankets or duvet sets or anything like that that you can use. And then when we do reveal our garment at the end of the month, they would like us to post not only the picture of the garment, but also a picture of the original kind of fabric or whatever it was that you have upcycled. So if you've got, I don't know, a dress that you don't wear anymore that you want to upcycle and turn into something else, share a photo of that dress first and then what you've turned it into. I am really looking forward to this because my plan is to use lots and lots of my scrap pieces of fabric. That's what I tend to focus on when I do the Sew Upcycle challenge. Last year or the year before, I think I had a couple of pieces from a charity shop that I'd bought and I upcycled them into something different. This year I'm planning to focus on my scraps because I've got a box of scraps and it's really overflowing at the moment. So I'm looking forward to taking part in that challenge. I'll link all the details down below so you can go and find out a little bit more about it. And then the final thing I like to finish with are my sewing plans for the next week. So I want to finish the Do and Don't Mind Sewters dress. I want to finish sewing the poppers onto the quilted jacket. And then there's a couple of projects that I got cut out yesterday, so I thought I would share those with you. So I had this beautiful like crochet effect fabric that I got from Sew Me Sunshine. I've got it in two different colourways, but I'm going with this one because it's really autumnal. And I spoke last weekend that I wanted to turn it into a cardigan, and the cardigan I'm going to go for is this one, which is the Pattern Emporium Grab a Cuppa Cardi, and I'm going for the long length cardigan with the pockets. I think that fabric would work really nicely as the long length, so that's all cut out. And then I also shared this beautiful corduroy fabric, which is a leopard print. I can't remember where I got this from. It's a baby cord fabric, and I have cut out the Fabric Godmother fleur dress because I want to have a go at sewing it up in a needle cord ready for the autumn winter. So I'm really looking forward to having that sewn up as well, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I also wanted to say thank you so much to everybody for the suggestions of the precious fabrics that I shared last weekend. Some amazing ideas for all of the fabrics, so I really appreciate all of the suggestions. In particular, I really loved the idea of turning the astronaut fabric into a boiler suit. I thought that was a fantastic idea. I just need to think about what boiler suit pattern or jumpsuit pattern I would use to really showcase that print. Lots and lots of suggestions for a zero waist dress as well, where I could just use that astronaut print for like the skirt pattern piece. So you've definitely given me lots and lots of food for thought on that. So thank you so much for all of your suggestions. So that was everything I wanted to share with you today. I hope you've enjoyed hearing what I've been getting up to and hearing some of my plans for the next couple of weeks. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would really love it if you could hit that subscribe button, because you'll get notified when I bring out my next video. Thank you as always for watching. Take care, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.